All right, guys, I got a question. This question's for you fellas. Let me know. I was dating this guy a while back, and he told me, you know what I'm saying, we had been talking for a while, and he told me, that he wasn't going to take me around his homeboys. And he said he just has a rule of thumb to where he just feels like he doesn't want to take his girl around his homeboys. And it was more so that he didn't trust, his guys, his homeboys, not to holler at me or any female. He said it's just not me. It's any female that he's been with. He don't feel like that is something that where he should take his girl around his homeboys. And I want to know, for the fellas that feel like this, is that a true statement? Or is it just he was just trying to be an asshole and he might have had something to hide? I feel like, long story short, I kind of understand why. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you a little story time on why I feel like that. At the time, maybe about 20 years ago, me and my husband were married. And he always had this thing of bringing his homeboys around. Like, he had friends every time. He was one of those likable people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every time he turn around, if he smoked with you, he your friend, And I was never one of those. I'm not one of those extroverted, I guess what you call, where you out openly friendly, just whatever. I have anxiety as far as social anxiety. I don't like to be around a lot of people. I really don't like to be around people I don't know. But he had this thing, if he smoked with you, that's my boy. That's my homeboy. He always wanted to bring his homeboys, one of his homeboys, if they ain't had nowhere to sleep for the night, he wanted to bring them to our house or whatever. And I always told him, listen, you can't do that. Number one, I got girls. Number two, I have kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't invite any and everybody in your house. And I don't even care if it's to spend the night or just to hang out. And he didn't understand that because he just one of those people that he was really a easygoing person. He got along with everybody. He was real cool. So, long story short, where he had brought his guys, homeboys around me, men in the backyard, they cooking, you know what I'm saying, on the grill, they hanging out, they smoking, whatever. No harm, no foul, never had that issue. And so one night, I had to go to work, he had to go to work. Now, one of his real good homeboys lived around the corner from us. And they called themselves Making Music. Now, mind you, I had to go to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning. He had to be to work at 8. Kids are in the bed. So, he was already up there at the guy's house. And, they was hanging out. Whatever they were doing, they was doing it. But it got late. I got in the bed. And then he came home. But he also brought his homeboy home. And I didn't understand that. And I was like, listen, it's already late. You got to go to work in the morning. I got to go work in the morning. These kids sleep. Why you bring him home? It's time to go to sleep. No, we just going to sit in here. We're going to drink. We're going to chill. We're going to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hang out. And that was cool. So I was like, fine. So I went in my room. All the doors were shut. I shut my door. I went to bed, put my cover on me. I was asleep. I say, maybe about an hour later, I made sure I was asleep. I made sure I had shut my door, right, before I went to sleep. So I'm in there sleep. He in the front room. I drifted off to sleep. I heard them in there talk or whatever. Boom. So I'm asleep. And so I'm asleep with a cover on me, and I feel the cover just pull off me, right? So I didn't think anything about it because I had a little dog. So I'm thinking that the dog got caught in the cover and he pulled the cover off me, right? So boom, I'm in there knocked out. So I get the cover pulled back on me. I didn't notice that the door was open at the time. I just pulled the cover back on me and proceeded to go back to sleep. Well, before I went to sleep, about 2 or 3 seconds later, the cover pulls off me again. At this time, I'm petrified. I've never been so scared in my life. I don't know. I watch a lot of ID. I watch a lot of scary movies. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know what my kids were. I didn't know what my husband was. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Right? And I was scared to move. So I'm sitting in the bed, just scared, frozen, looking at the door. And in my mind, I'm like, that door was closed. So then, as I'm looking at the door, I see, which I know now is a white do-rag, and a light is hitting it from the smoke detector. It's hitting it. And I see someone looking at me, and then he turns and he walks, I found out it was a he, walks back up the hall. Now, at this moment, I'm froze because I don't know who it is. I know it ain't my husband. I'm scared. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I decide to get up, and I peek down the hall because the hall was straight. All the bedrooms were down the hall. You could look straight into the living room. This person, which I now found out was my husband's friend, decides he goes in the front room, looks at me, lays back down, and closes his eyes. Now I done went from being petrified to being pissed off. Because what the fuck was you doing, right? What the fuck was you doing back there? You know what I'm saying? And so I go and I wake my husband up. And he over there passed out, drunk, knocked out, don't even know what the hell going on. So I call him to the back and I let him know what's going on. And he says, oh, okay. So let me tell you why this right here broke our marriage. It was a dub. He goes back up to the front room and he hitting the guy. He actually is laying there like he sleep. Nigga ain't sleep. He's out there laying there acting like he's sleep. He's pushing the man, wake up, wake up. I hear him tell him like, man, you know, she's tripping, man, she tripping. I'm tripping. Nah, he tripping and you tripping, right? So it really pissed me the hell off. And I told him after that situation that's why I tell you, you cannot bring everybody around your family. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, I kind of understand what he was saying when my ex, what he was saying, I don't bring, you know what I'm saying, my woman around my guy friends. But fellas, y'all chime in and let me know what you think. Is that an accurate statement? Or you just bring your loved one, your girl, around guys that you know are